Quality. 3, 2, 1. Take 14.
Go.
All right, here today to give you a brief overview of Ono H2O and WIF Pro and what the general macro idea of the company is and what we set out, and ultimately in the marine filtration world, what we set out to sort of resolve or provide what we feel is the best option as far as the ultimate marine fuel filtration system. And what we've ultimately done is identified 5 characteristics or facets of the ultimate marine fuel filtration system. What should a marine fuel filtration system provide to the end user, whether it be the captain or the mechanic or the boat maintenance crew, whoever it be? What would the ultimate system actually provide in the big picture? And we identified 5 points to that. So the first point is efficient, effective filtration of contaminants and water removal in your fuel system. That's number 1. And on that note, we opted to go with the industry leader, Parker Racor. In the gasoline part of that world, we want their gasoline spin-on series in both the 60 gallon per hour, which is done by the S3227 filtration, as well as the S3213, and the S3232 filter, which is 90 gallons per hour. In the diesel world, we've addressed the marine turbine series in the 3 different sizes. You'll only see 2 here. The first one is the 500 series MA. That's a 60 gallon per hour diesel filter. The 900, which is shown here, is a 120 gallon per hour diesel filter. And the 1000 is just a bit taller than this filter, a few inches taller, and that will filter up to 180 gallons per hour.
You said 120 gallons per hour.
Correct, on the 900.
Oh, why does it say 90 over there?
Yeah, no, it's 120 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually incorrect. So we cover the turbine series, and we feel from a contaminant removal, depends on the microns of your actual filter element. They go anywhere from 2 microns up to 30 microns, depending on which filter you're looking at. They're the industry leader. They have the largest network of distribution in the world. So we felt that aspect of the filtration system is covered quite well by Parker Racor, and we've adapted everything we've built to these 2 series of filters. So number 1, effective filtration is covered effectively by Parker Racor in these 2 series of filtration. The second note is water and fuel monitoring. We really feel like water and fuel is an age-old problem. It's what started WIF Pro itself. WIF Pro started as a water and fuel monitoring system with its patented technology with a float and sensor combination. WIF Pro has no wear parts. It easily removes from the filter for standard maintenance. It self-tests, the sensors self-test, and they alert you on the controller panels if there is any faults happening in the system or if it's operational. So that system in and of itself is for the water and fuel monitoring, but that's an important part of what we feel is number 2 as far as an effective or the ultimate marine fuel filtration system. Number 3, it's kind of part of these filter combinations, is the filter has to have a clear bowl. We feel, you'll notice in the spin-on series, we only use clear bowls, and in the turbine series, they only use clear bowls, and there's a reason for that. The clear bowls, in our opinion, offer 2 distinct advantages over closed solid metal bowls or solid metal drain bowls. And the 2 huge advantages are they allow you to visually inspect the state of your fuel. You can see if there's excess contaminants being filtered out. You can possibly see if there's water in there. If you're using the WIF Pro system, that green float will float and expose an orange indicator. You'll know from 10 feet away if you have water infiltration. And if there's enough water infiltration, you'll be alarmed at the control panel. But the other nice thing about all of the clear bowls is they have an option for quick draining capabilities. The quick drains are nice, not only for the situation where you have water in the system and you want to remove the water, but also for maintenance. When you do maintenance on this filter, for example, it's really nice to be able to drain the gas quickly and safely and easily, cleanly, without any drips. It's nice to be able to drain it, spin the filter off, re-put your new filter on, and keep going. So the clear bowls provide quick, easy access to visual confirmation of water or not, and also the clarity of your fuel. You know what's happening in your fuel system. this happens both in the spin-on series and naturally the turbine series. And
Can
that's
you explain real quickly how you get alerted of fuel at the?
sure. As soon as this filter has about 4 to 5 ounces of water infiltration, that float will float up and trigger with these sensors and notify you which engine or which filter is doing that. On this particular control panel, it will alert you here as a port or starboard engine. This will blink blink red with a loud alarm, and this will hold solid red. These boxes are also NMEA certified, so we have other mounting options. This happens to be what we call kind of a helm mount where you can put it visually out, but you can also sub-mount these boxes with flush mounts, and you will also see the warnings show up on your Garmin's or chart plotters, whatever you have in your boat. So we also have NMEA certification on all of our controllers. So the Clear Bowls is number 3 in what we consider the perfect marine filtration system. Part of that is the quick drain. I mentioned that the Clear Bowls offer that in all these systems. And the 5th and last one is ABYC compliance. And why that's so important is in the gasoline world, you cannot use a Clear Bowl filter without ABYC compliant, without our ABYC compliant heat shield bowl here in a new installation for OEM builders, because this bowl does not pass the 2.5 minute fire test that's required. There are some options offered, so we've solved that problem in the gasoline world. I believe we are the first to offer a Clear Bowl gasoline series filter, in particular Parker Racor, with ABYC compliance, where you can install it in an OEM application. In the diesel world,
Just to clarify,
Sure.
you talk about the Clear Bowl and the bowl. So what the Whiff Shield is that we came up with is the back plate and the fireproof metal bowl. If you want to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a series on all these filters, so there's 5 in total. There's 2 gasoline and 3 different diesel filters we can protect. It's a toolless removable bowl, which makes it easy for maintenance and for it just comes off and drops back on. It consists of a back plate, and it consists of a back plate being adjoined to we call it the heat shield bowl. And the bowls have different shapes in different sizes to pass those tests and protect it from fire. It does improve your fire safety in your boat. If you ever have a fire in the bilge, what the 2.5 minute fire test confirms is that this bowl will not add fuel to that fire. This bowl will stay intact and maintain the fuel in the system without leaking any fuel adding to the fire. So it does improve fire safety for the boat as required by ABYC standards. The reason why ABYC standards, for those of you that don't know, are so important is if a boat builder wants an NMMA certification, which is the National Marine Manufacturers Association certification, that they build their boat to a certain high standard, those standards are ABYC standards. So if a boat builder follows ABYC standards, that's how they get the NMMA certification. Historically, before we came with our Whiff Shield product, this Clear Bowl filter could not be used in the gasoline world in an OEM application. This enables that to happen. It's very inexpensive add-on. It doesn't affect anything. It's fully compatible with our Whiff Pro water and fuel monitoring system. If you have to do any maintenance or anything else with its toolless removal, you can do maintenance and simply reinstall the bowl. It covers those. So this is the first of its kind as far as as far as we know in the gasoline world. Now in the diesel world, there's some different things to consider. They've addressed, because in the diesel world, there's a lot more requirements on the insurance side. A lot of surveyors and so on and so forth require your heat shield bowls for insurance purposes. So when you get a big boat and it's surveyed, if you don't have some sort of heat shield bowl to meet ABYC standards, it will be noted. In other words, insurance companies may not insure the boat. There's other issues in the diesel world that are different from the gas world. So what's currently offered in the market by Parker Racor, and we're not here to bash them, we're just here to note what we consider deficiencies in the system. This is an example of a heat shield bowl for the D500. And you'll notice if you were to install this bowl, the only way to get ABYC approval is to use their drain. This is certainly not a quick drain like here that would work quite readily with our Whiff Pro drain bottle. you would have to use, to have ABYC approval, you'd have to use their drain, which requires tooling. And I'm sure anyone that's worked on boats or drain filters, if you have to drain your filter through this bolt, it's going to be a messy job. It's going to be very difficult to make sure you get that bolt out and get the gas to fall into a container without, dripping it or going all over the place. So the challenge we have with this particular filter in the diesel world is if you want ABYC for insurance purposes or you're a new boat builder, if you use this, you lose the quick drain. And additionally, if you do want to use their water and fuel sensors, we feel ours are far superior in reliability, self-testing, and other features. It doesn't even fit. So if you were to put that whiff sensor in there, it still sticks down about 1/4 inch below where this bowl goes. So with the 500 series Parker Raycor turbine, you either get ABYC compliance without quick drain and without whiff sensing, or you can remove this and you could put a quick drain and use their whiff sensors technically. Our system solves all those problems in one. You can leave the quick drain in place. You can use our sensor cage up here, which holds our sensors above everything with our filter parts on the inside to trigger. And when you install our bowl onto the back plate, as you can see, your quick drain stays there. You can remove the bowl toollessly to do any draining for maintenance and or removing water from the system. And you don't lose the ability to use water and fuel sensing technology. When you remove the bowl for maintenance or what have you, the sensoring also removes quite readily. So you can remove our system, get it completely away from the filter for anything you need to do if you're changing the filter or doing any kind of maintenance on it. So very quick install. The sensoring just comes back up, snaps on, and your ABYC bowl will go up and it will lock on with the grommets. In the 900 world and 1000 series world, because they're the same filter effectively from here down, they're the same filter. They just change size up here, which is irrelevant to what we're talking about. It's the same issue. If you use the ABYC bowl, you have to use this drain. So you lose the convenience and cleanliness of the quick drain with our drain bottle, Whiff Pro drain bottle. Also in this world, it's arguable. You can make the argument that the whiff sensor will fit in there, that it will go in there and the bowl will install. However, I will tell you, in order for that to happen, these wires are bent quite sharply straight out of the potting material in the back of the mechanism here, or in the back of the sensor. They're bent quite sharply in order to stay inside of this bowl. To me, it's not a comfortable installation. The bowl's far too close to the sensor to install it and feel comfortable about wires being bent so sharply. In our system, obviously, the quick drain remains in place. Our sensor cage, which we don't have here, same as this, just larger, will come up, lock on to the custom fasteners, and your drain bowl will simply go on, push down and lock, and leave your quick drain in place. So with the Whiff Pro water and fuel monitoring system and our Whiff Shield providing ABYC compliance, we feel the system collectively provides the 5 most important factors to have the ultimate marine filtration system. Effective filtration through Raycor filters and their AquaBlock technology, water and fuel sensing, which we have compatible with all of our Whiff Pro systems. Clear bowls are on both gasoline and diesel filter bowls, which enable quick draining, and our ABYC compliance, as mentioned, with our Whiff Shield heat shield bowls. That's the general idea.